If my life were a playbook, doing what I was doing at that very moment would have been don't number 1. I leaned back, trying to shift positions. The leather cushion of my car's interior seat sighed as I readjusted my head, and I realized as I shifted for comfort that of all the places to receive head, I could have done a whole lot better. But I could have done a hell of a lot worse. Still, that wasn't my problem. My problem was that I wasn't good at waiting. 2 months ago, I could have started screwing in the Hyatt, fucked as I flew past the Hudson River on a helicopter, and ended the night on a yacht with my cock in a mouth, or 2. The world had been my playground. That's how it had always been. But it had changed, and I don't know when or where the change began. Maybe it had spun off its axis halfway from my London office to New York. Or maybe it had taken a wrong turn past Priscilla, the bubbly Brit with the fake tits. Or maybe the world had abandoned me, lost some steam around the time of Cordelia, the flight attendant without a stitch of hair anywhere. Or maybe the change was purely mental. Business had dried up since the last time I saw my best friend Bishop. My career had gone flaccid, along with other things. And as my business stalled, so had my goddamn sex life. My playbook, the one I used to run my life, to set up my next moves and maneuvers, didn't seem to be working anymore. And I was treading on uncharted territory. I wouldn't exactly call myself a proper ref or pro when it came to this life shit, but it was official. I was calling it. My cock was broken, and it was never more evident as it was in the front seat of my Audi as I was getting head from my ex-client Rebecca Hutchinson, a certified blowjob artist if I'd ever seen one. She was trying her best, and despite her licking and sucking, despite the slurping and tugging and teeth grazing and whatever twisty tornado maneuver she was pulling with her tongue, I couldn't get off. My dick, along with Rebecca's tongue, was definitely on a downward spiral. I groaned, leaning further back, and she mistook my frustration for unfettered pleasure. Rebecca licked my tip and rolled her tongue around it, smiling up at me with a grin that was meant to seduce. She pushed a platinum lock of hair behind her ear.
"You're stronger than I thought. No man has been able to resist that trick."
I wondered how many men she was talking about, but I didn't ask. Frankly, I didn't give a literal fuck, but I did give a fuck that I couldn't literally give a fuck, and for that reason, I wanted to beat my head against the steering wheel. This was supposed to be my way of passing the time while I waited for the phone call that would inevitably turn things all around again, or send them shooting back to hell. My secretary, Mabel, told me to look at the silver lining. I told her, screw the silver lining and its goddamn playbook. I had the sex, money, and career playbook, and if that didn't see me through tonight, then nothing would. I was already doing one bang-up job of ruining at least one of its major tenets as I sat there with my dick out. I grit my teeth, trying to concentrate on an orgasm that wouldn't come. I took a deep breath, looked at Rebecca, and bluffed. "Have to come better than that," I said, no pun intended. And with that, her head dipped, her mouth gripped, and the woman stretched over my passenger seat returned to swallowing my cock, taking my length deeper, massaging the underside of me with her tongue. And I felt nothing. I was on autopilot, going through the motions, barely able to keep it up until I did the one thing I warned myself not to do. For 8 weeks, I thought of her, and was instantly steel. I threw my head back and moaned, a real moan. A shudder worked its way below my waist, and it was the first pure sensation I'd felt all night. I gripped the back of Becky, the blower's head. In my mind, her pink lips turned red. I closed my eyes, and the fake tan on her glossy skin became paler, peachy. The bubblegum scent of her sickly sweet perfume thickened into a bouquet of lavender, and before I knew it, the shiny strands between my fingers were no longer blonde, but red. Crimson-colored wisps of hair slid through my fingers as her lips slid along the length of my hardness, and I was closer to finding the climax I was looking for. I thought of a name that wasn't Rebecca's and did my damnedest to hold it in. And that's when my phone rang. I reached for my pocket, pulling out my phone. My cock was still between Rebecca's lips when I answered the call.